Arkane Studios is over 20 years old, and it's lived a lot in that time. It started out as a contract developer, but truly blossomed after it was acquired by Bethesda in 2010. The run started with first-person stealth action-adventure Dishonored in 2012. A critical darling that never hit critical mass at retail. It deserves more attention than it received. It's one of the first Bethesda games to hit Game Pass after Microsoft purchased the publisher, but it's nearly a decade old and there's already a sequel. It's time to find out if Dishonored is a Game Pass or a game fail.
This is a momentous occasion, Corey.
Dishonored's biggest strength is its flexibility. There are multiple ways to enter each location, plenty of tools to use however you choose, and ways to make progress without killing a single enemy. Without a map to use as a guide, the environments can sometimes feel too big. However, learning your way around is satisfying all on its own because different locations are used for different missions. It all comes together quite well.
And then I take care of the Pendleton brothers, just like that. You ain't never even gonna touch them.
Dishonored is a stealth game, but there isn't much of a penalty for being discovered or leaving bodies lying around. It's a huge relief for novices because combat can often feel clunky, so going in guns blazing is often a tragic mistake.
Stay away.
Ranged weapons are intentionally slow. Just a couple of slashes from a sword can spell doom, and both use up a lot of resources. We'd rather spend a few coins than endlessly restart missions. We'll just leave the ghost run for someone else.
I knew you'd help me with those ill-mannered boys.
The difficulty curve looks more like a sawtooth. If you're not trying for the perfect stealth run, it's not overly difficult. Just be prepared for a lot of trial and error. The save system is also generous if you want to try each encounter a different way. The difficulty might be on the modest side because Game Pass supports the Definitive Edition from back in the era where DLC often softened the blow with bonuses, enhancements, and tons of in-game currency. Dishonored's story has a simple concept of clearing your name after being framed, but it also has a lot of flavor. The characters you interact with have enough personality to provide plenty of cover for its simplicity, while the industrial setting with a hint of the extraordinary complements the gameplay quite well. It's good enough that we are anxious to see how the tale ends.
Take them apart, piece by piece.
Game Pass has no shortage of stealth games, but the quality varies wildly. Alien Isolation is a horror-driven take on the genre, and it's much more unforgiving. A Plague Tale: Innocence focuses on narrative, but its stealth elements are formulaic at best. We Happy Few has a great premise of surviving a dystopian world smeared with zany drug trips, but its survival bent can get messy. Not surprisingly, the best comp is Dishonored 2, and while it wasn't as well received by critics as the original, it's still no slouch. Now it's time to find out, is Dishonored a game pass or a game fail?
What news have you brought?
Dishonored is the rare game that will make you enjoy its genre even if you normally don't. If stealth games typically make you hit the snooze button, don't be so quick with this one. You don't even have to play it that way if you don't want to. Guns and swords can be awkward, but they're viable. It's not an especially long game, so the rote story and dank atmosphere easily carry it to completion, and it stands out among its comps for being easy to reload and try a different approach. Even for someone who's as graceful as a bull in a china shop, it's a compelling play. Dishonored gets a Game Pass. For next week's episode, we're going back to the full Game Pass library to tackle No Man's Sky.